Hey Phi Them, today is lesson 6.3. It's all about stem and leaf plots. To get us started though, here are some warm-ups. I want you to write the following fractions in decimal form and then in percent. These are pretty easy fractions to turn into decimals, so these are kind of ones you should have memorized. And then you should be able to easily move the decimal point 2 places to the right to turn it into percents. If you're stuck, raise your hand. We'll come around and help you get started on the first one. Go ahead and do this now. Okay, you're back, so you must have all these turned into both decimals and percents. So here are your answers. Look them over, see if you have any questions. If so, please let us know. Okay, today you're going to be looking at stem and leaf plots. You may have seen these in 4th grade, I believe. Your learning target is I can create and interpret a stem and leaf plot. What I want you to do now is go ahead and down below there's a little video about stem and leaf plots, kind of introducing them to you with a little caterpillar. So please watch that video and then come back. Okay, you're done with that video, so now I'm going to show you kind of recap of what they showed you. Okay, a stem and leaf plot is a way to display data values in which the digits with the larger place values are the stems and the digits with the smaller place values are the leaves. So in this case, we have Chapter 6 test scores for 2 classes, Class A and Class B. When you're reading a stem and leaf plot, the tens digit in this case is over here and the ones digit is over here. So one person in the class scored a 49. Okay, and so you put the 4 here and the 9 here. If another person in that class scored, let's say, a 47, we would then put that here too, and we put a comma here. Okay, so as you can see down below, if I'm reading the scores for the next one, somebody scored a 55 and someone else scored a 57. Okay, down here we have a 66. And another 66. So there was 2 66s. And for the next score, we have a 6 over here, and we have the 8 over here, so a 68. Okay, so that's how you're going to read these. If you look down here, for 100, this one's going to be 100. So we have 10 plus one more 0. So we have 10, and another 0 would be 100. And it looks like 2 people scored 100. So 10 over here, and the other 0 make 100. Okay, if you look over here at Class B, nobody scored anything with a stem of 4. So no one scored a 49 or below because there are no leaves here for that. Okay, looks like the lowest score is going to be your 52, your minimum. And on this one, your maximum looks to be about at 100. Okay, so 10 plus a 0. So just to recap, these are all your tens. Okay, and so here there's 10 tens, which moves it up to 100, and these are all of your numbers that are in the ones place value. So you have to really pay attention to the place value with the stem and leaf plot. To explain that further, I'm going to help you to make one of these. Okay, so if you want to draw this along on your board with me, that would be great. It says, I'm going to show you how to graph the data using the stem and leaf plot. I would like for you to watch as I model. Make sure you're paying close attention. So if you want to watch, you can. If you learn better by actually doing it with me, please feel free to do that. So the stems are your hundreds and your tens place values, and your leaves are going to be your ones again. So here's our following data in a stem and leaf plot. What I like to do first is I like to just take a look at all my tens. So I've got a 90, an 80, 80, 90, 100, 100, and 10. So if I look there, I've actually got 11 there. I've got a 10, 9, 8, 11. Okay, so I don't have, it looks like my lowest number, my lowest number we've got on this one is an 85, and my highest I need to go is to 113. So if I'm looking at my tens and ones, I need to start down at an 8. So I'm going to start with the 8, and I'm going to go up until I get to 11, because there is a 113, which is your 11 is there. So we have 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. Now the next step I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and make my leaves. So those are my stems. My leaves are going to come off them. If it has an 8 in the tens place, I'm going to make a leaf for it. So I'm going to look up here. Okay, we have an 87. So I'm going to put a 7 here as my leaf, and then I'm going to put a comma to separate it from my next leaf. And I can cross that out if I want to. 87. Then I have an 85. Okay, let's see. Notice from the movie, on this last one that we did on this back page and on this one, we're going from least to greatest. I know in the movie it showed greatest to least, and that's fine as well. So we have an 85. And the other 80s, oh, there's an 89. Okay, so we have these numbers. Now, we can leave them as a 7, 5, and 9. However, if I want to use this to find my median, I'm going to need to actually put these in order. So I'm going to want to put my least over here and my greatest over here. So I'm going to want to swap that 7 and that 5. So I'm going to put my 5 over here, comma 7. Okay? Now I've got my 80s done, so now I'm going to move to my 90s. Let's see, I've got 98, 96, 95 is my lowest. So I'm going to go ahead and put my 95, comma, cross off my 95. Then I've got a 96, so I'm going to put my 6. Remember my 9 for my 90s already over here. Cross out 96. And then I've got a 98, so comma 8. All right, any other 90s? Doesn't look like it. So now I'm going to move to my 10s. So I've got a 10 here, 101, and I see a 10 here with 107. There's an 11, and there's 11. So just the 2. So 101, we've got the 1, the 0. We just need the 1's digit over here, so that's going to be a 1, comma. And then 107, so we got the 107. Cross those out. Okay, now we just have our 11s left, and we have 1, 1, 0, and 1, 1, 3. So the 110 is going to go first. My 1's place is a 0, and my 1's place in the next one is a 3. Okay, so now I've even got them in numerical order here. So now if I want to find things like the minimum, the maximum, the median, the mode, those are all pretty easy here. You can see the minimum is going to be 85. So we have an 8 and a 5. So the minimum is our lowest number, and it's going to be 85. Okay. Our maximum is going to be, we have 11. So I can write 11, but then it's a 0 or the 3. The 3 is going to be bigger, so we're going to have 113. It's really easy to see now, okay? Also, if we want to find the mode, the one that occurs the most often, we're going to look for some repeats. Do you see any repeats? We have a 5 and a 5, but this one's 85 and this one's 95, so that's not a repeat. What you're going to do is you're going to look over to the leaves and see if there's any leaves that are the exact same on the same stem. And you know what, I'm looking here, I don't see any. So sometimes you might have no mode. There isn't one that occurs the most often. Okay? And then for the median, what we're going to do here is we're going to actually start down at the bottom, and then we're going to go bottom, top, or top, bottom. But we're going to cross them out until we find that middle. So low, high, low, high, low, high, low. Oh, we actually have 2 here in the middle. We have a 6 and an 8. Now, really, that's not a 6 and an 8. It's a 96 and a 98. So the median is going to be right in the middle there. So the median, I'm going to just put MED. It's actually going to be 97. Okay, because it's right in the middle. Okay, so hopefully you're understanding the stem and leaf plots a little bit. You have a couple of practice sheets today. The first one looks like this with the reading a stem and leaf plot. And then it's going to also have some review at the bottom with some multiplication, division, subtraction. So make sure you get all of those done. And then on the back side, you're going to be actually making your own stem and leaf plot. So here's some, it's even set up for you here where you can write your stems, you can write your leaves. And then there's some questions here for you to answer. Have both of those checked, and then check with us to see if if you have time to go ahead and move to the math boxes for this as well. Some of you are going to have time, some of you aren't going to have time, and that's okay. Remember, everyone learns at different paces. Okay, so go ahead and get started, guys. Thanks.